Somewhere in Japan, in the summer of 1986, a soft, gentle commercial for tissues aired on late-night television. Then it disappeared, and people have been afraid to speak about it ever since. It was only 15 seconds long. There was no blood, no screaming, nothing you could point to and call frightening. And yet, according to the legend, it may be the most cursed thing ever broadcast in Japan. To understand why, you have to imagine sitting alone in a dark room, decades ago, watching it flicker to life without warning. The product was ordinary, a box of tissues, the kind of thing sold in every convenience store in the country, advertised 1,000 different ways. But this commercial was different. A beautiful young woman sat quietly in a field of hay, dressed all in white, calm and still, almost like an angel. Beside her sat a small child, painted red from head to toe, wearing the horns of a demon. In Japanese folklore, this is an oni, a creature of the underworld. And behind the pretty images, a song played. A soft woman's voice, singing a slow, dreamlike melody that seemed, somehow, wrong. Viewers said the song made their skin crawl. It sounded sweet on the surface, but something underneath it felt cold, like a lullaby sung to something that should never wake up. At first, the ad ran normally. But then, the stories say, the phone call started. People complained. They said watching it made them feel sick, dizzy, afraid to be alone. And so, the legend goes, the commercial was pulled from the air. Quietly. Completely. As if the network wanted everyone to forget it had ever existed. But that is not where the story ends. That is where it begins. Because people began to notice something about the people who made it. The legend claims that the crew who filmed the commercial started to suffer. Strange illnesses. Sudden accidents. Some, it is whispered, did not survive at all. One story says the young actress in the white dress was committed to a psychiatric hospital, her mind broken. Another says she died soon after, in circumstances no one wanted to explain. The director, the producers, the sound crew, one by one, the tale says, misfortune found them. A curse spreading outward from 15 seconds of film. And then there was the song. The music that had unsettled everyone who heard it. People wanted to know where it came from and what it meant. Here the legend turns truly dark. Some claim the melody was old, much older than the commercial. A tune tied to death, to funerals, to the world beyond ours. And the lyrics, they said, were not in modern Japanese at all. When people tried to translate them, the words seemed to speak of dying, of a soul that could not rest. If this story is already making the back of your neck prickle, take a breath and subscribe, because the deepest, strangest part of this legend is still coming. The name most often attached to the song is chilling on its own. People called it the song of a spirit, a voice belonging to someone who was no longer alive to sing it. And one version of the legend says the red demon child was real, not an actor, not a costume, something that appeared in the footage that was never supposed to be there. That is the horror at the heart of it. The idea that the camera captured something it should not have. That for 15 seconds, a door was left open, and Japan looked through it. Now, here is where we must be honest with you. Because the truth is almost as unsettling as the myth. The commercial was real. It genuinely aired in 1986. And it genuinely was pulled from Japanese television, far sooner than planned. The song was real too. But it was not some ancient death chant. It was a well-known piece by a British group, sung by a German singer, decades old, completely innocent. Here is the eerie coincidence. To Japanese ears, unfamiliar with the language, one line of that gentle song sounded almost exactly like a Japanese phrase meaning, roughly, die, or return to death. A harmless love song, transformed by a trick of language into something that sounded like a curse. And once people believed it was cursed, everything else followed. Over the years, the story grew online. Actresses who were perfectly fine were rumored to be dead or mad. Crew members no one could name were said to have vanished. The legend fed on itself. And that is the real lesson buried inside this haunting. A curse does not always need a demon. Sometimes all it needs is fear, a foreign word, and a story too good to let go of. Because here is the part no one can fully explain. The original, full commercial has never been cleanly recovered. Copies online are grainy, incomplete, wrong somehow, as if the thing resists being seen. Some say that is proof it was erased on purpose. Others say it is simply lost to time. But every year, someone new stumbles across it in the dark, alone, and feels that same old chill. So if you are ever awake late at night in Japan, flipping through old footage, and you find a woman in white, a red child, and a song that sounds like a warning, you might want to look away. Because the most frightening curses are not the ones that reach out and touch us. They are the ones we carry home ourselves and refuse to forget.